Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in those nights in the dark ages, or at least that's how people see them. They are very bright. Tonight's scene, because obviously we're vampires, we'll see Mashid taking a little stroll into the night, starting to get out of her residence where she has been doing a lot of work and researches and introspection because she felt conflicted about what is happening right now in the city, or rather outside the city. So she feels that it is time to talk with someone that can understand her, contrary to her coterie mate, who, even if they are her brothers and sisters, do not share the same faith as she does. And well, she feels that she needs to confide to an imam, and so she is going to go to the mosque of Hasim to talk about faith and the problems that comes with faith.
In that night that when you enter the mosque, you will see the Rasim is giving education to the young kids of Odessa, the small folk. You see the Christians kids that you probably would know. Like none of them are noble kids. All of them are like from the poor. And you might like see some Christian kid inside of the mosque, and you might see some Jew kid. Like I don't know, like would you know them or not? But like they look like they don't look like Muslims. And the class will end, and he will slowly come near you. He will say, "Welcome, Rashid. It's a pleasure to see you again."
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I need to talk with you in the confine of your house.
He nods again. You see, he looks friendly, more than the past interactions, because, like you can understand from his face and you can understand from his demeanor. But like he slowly walks towards his room in the mosque. And you will see that it's a room lightened with like a small fire, like the gaslight. I don't think gaslight are there. I don't think the gaslight is there. But like when I say fire, it's like a light. Like it's not fire. Gaslight is not a thing at that time. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. The closest thing that you would have actually would be burning oil.
Maybe candle.
Yeah, candle, burning oil, or well, a chimney if you have. But I think it would be weird.
yeah, candle is good. And he will just look at her and say, "You look troubled." He will like motion you to sit.
She's going to sit and stay silent for a little bit, because yeah, that's what Cappadocians do, you know, being mysterious and stuff. You know what is happening outside the city, don't you?
He nods. I do.
The Turks are around our doors now. I have faced them, even if I wouldn't have wanted that, but the march of the faithful is something that cannot be stopped. But this put us in a very embarrassing position.
The jihad is something that I try to do in a social way and not in a physical way, and not with a force.
Hmm.
I agree that everybody in the world should be Muslim, but putting putting a sword in someone's throat doesn't make someone Muslim.
It only
Or
makes him a corpse.
yes, or cutting that head by saying Allahu Akbar doesn't make you a good person or good Muslim.
True. But again, we face a problem that the world, or at least certain part of the world, doesn't see and refuse to see, calling us infidels when we are themselves lost, unable to see that he was a prophet and not the Son of God.
You know, it's the problem that I see right now is if it was 10 years ago, while I wasn't what I am, I would have said that it's the way of the world. But Mashid, we both know there's more stronger beings than humans. And
More stronger forces at hand.
their influences will also work. It will not just be Turks who will be in the fight. It will be he looks at the city, Muslims, Christians, Jews in the city, along with the Canaanites of the city, and the Turks and if they have Canaanites in them. They as I said, I don't appreciate the way that they do the jihad. And I think they're wrong.
Yes, perhaps. We know that must have been becoming of the Turks, taking the power away from the Abbasid that might have started all this. But now those cities and bastions have been raised around our walls, made by Christians, followed up by their masters who we shared the city tonight. They are beacon of Christian, standing within the crescent moon. And right now, well, I think you have heard rumors regarding the head of the Templars. He doesn't really share your view of peace.
It's Ulrich Gwent.
Yes. And as much...
Go on. Please, I'm really sorry. Please go on.
And as much as, well, I had a very pleasant conversation with the less somber sister. We cannot forget, unfortunately, that some among our Canaanite brothers and sisters share some of these views regarding those who do not share their faith. Or at least, let's give them credit. Not that they would really care, but since they are their flock, It is something that is inevitable, that at some point powers will clash between each other.
You talk with the seneschal.
Are you talking about Sister?
Madeline.
Yes.
So she said that she supports the Christians and not the. She supports the head of the Templars.
I don't know. I haven't asked her the question.
He knows.
What I'm
The-
wondering.
Mhm.
Go on. You start.
Yeah, okay. You look. Rasim is like just smiles and says, "The the Muslims in this city doesn't do anything other than being good Muslims and trying to live in this city. The if the head of the Templars will act against the Muslims, there will be repercussions from a lot of people who has sown nothing but goodness by the Muslims. They don't have to be Jew. They don't have to be Muslims. They can be Christians, or um, they can be Jews. The problem is he will know that the life is like life has a lot of colors, Rashid. The Yes, there is black and white sometimes, but there is a lot of colors in this world. The Allah has created a world with a lot of opinions, even in the Muslims, even in the Christians, and even in the Jews. There's a lot of different opinions, and somebody needs to make him understand that the divided Edessa is a weak Edessa. Divided Edessa is going to be raped by the Turks. He can talk all that stuff, but it will be easy to remind him that the war, yes, if we revolt against the Christians, we all will die. We all know that. This is a Christian city right now. But the problem is, he can't risk treating us bad. If you poke the dog into a corner, the dog would fight back. We are lesser than Christians. Yes. But again, there are really powerful people like the chief Imam of Odessa. There are really good men who, in Christians, who would only and only protect, who would protect everybody who is a human being. He will have a lot of payback, and the Ulrich, our Baron, follows the path of humanity like myself. He is not in any other path where he needs to be sport one or the other. So his humanity will make him understand who is right and who is wrong. I understand your problems, and yes, Ulrich Gwent, who is the head of the Knight Templar, is a problem. But it's a problem that can be dealt with. It is really hard to gain of the sports of all those people while a Muslim imam feeds the Christians outside of his mosque, treats people in his health center. The people believes at us, people will understand who is right, or we will make them understand who's right.
I can say that your faith in Vermi is refreshing. But unfortunately, I find it very hard to share it. A man who is armed with a sword and has a military force with him, of course, he will not be stupid enough to attack. But you have seen what they did when the Turks attacked, haven't you?
You know, it's,
You have seen that even if they are not from the flock, they turned against us and attacked us because we are Muslims. We are like the Turks. This is something that you will not be able to control. Something that is going to be very hard for us. Is that if the advance of our brothers become more persistent and more, well, efficient, then the other parts of the city will start to think that, well, we are becoming a problem. And as much love from the people that you share and who feels towards you, do you truly believe that they will have the courage to stand between you and the sword of a Templar?
the this Templars has families and young kids.
Wait a second, I've got my phone.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
You can go back to what you were saying.
The Templars has families, and a man usually chooses to disobey their commanders while they are forced to kill their family. I know you speak of a bad future which might happen, and we should do whatever in our power to stop that future. I am trying to have dealings with Ulrich, and Ulrich alone. I have a friend in the Hospitalars, Cosmo. He is a warrior from. He's a salubri like myself. You have met him. And I have you, who's Muslim. I know you don't like Ulrich. He smiles at him, at
Mm,
her.
not. It's not. Let's make something clear. It has nothing to do with not liking someone. He won this barony fair and square, or at least as much fair as an election can be from everyone's. But let's just say that my education makes it sometimes hard to not be angry at what I and my people interpret as show of disrespect. That is all.
He nods, but like you see that there he wants to say something. Tell me, what does Calix has other than his words? And his brothers and sisters like yourself.
Hmm. What is exactly your point here?
Calix looks like a charismatic man. Calix looks like a good warrior. Calix doesn't look like a man who would be a good baron.
She
I am.
shrugs. She shrugs, you know what, that mention. I
I
guess
am.
now we won't be able to see it.
I am not trying to disrespect you or your coterie. All I'm saying is, a man who lives outside of the city can't rule inside of the city. And this is not me again disrespecting your way of living. The how he was going to control inside of the city from outside. That's why I did not vote for him, and I am not going to lie another Muslim or anybody.
You have made your choice. It is the choice of your own conscience. I'm not going to fault someone who follows his conscience.
Thank you.
But you are putting way more emphasis on this than really anything. As I said, it was the fact that he. It is stupid, really, to think about it this way, but I was educated like this. When you have someone who represents another in power, it is at least good to say a word to them and not, well, wait until the last greeting to acknowledge them. That is all. Nothing beyond that. The actions of Baron Ulrich will speak for themselves, and he will be judged upon his action like any other, just as my brother would have been judged for his
I
action.
agree. I agree.
I heard, well, I suppose that since you voted for him, he gave you something in return, as one would expect from someone who can bring 2 votes, who makes the difference.
He nods. I take the prophet's quarters as my domain. And OOC, it's the biggest domain who is given to someone.
Hasim, you're cock waving. That's not very Muslim. What are you doing?
No, he's not. He
I
just
know. I know it's your OC.
yeah,
I
I'm
know it's your
OOC, I'm
OC,
baby.
but
OOC, I'm
this is a sin. This is a sin on the road of heaven. You filthy faithless.
No, I did
Anyway.
not. Okay, I did not boast it. I just said I get it. Ahmed John is boasting, but not received.
Shh. We know. Shh.
Okay.
Pat.
Mhm.
And yeah, she she makes a sound with her tongue. So, what is expected of me since now since you know that I have a residence within this quarter.
I will not ask you to do anything which the Quran doesn't say. You can live, you can feed, you can do what you want, but I need you to understand that I protect every human being, every dog, every cat, every rat in this place. I am not a good fighter. He looks at him, his hands he looks okay, but like he doesn't look like a good fighter. He says, I will protect them, but I will die for them.
She she kind of raised
Mhm.
an eyebrow when you say every dog.
Yeah.
and she smirks, which I'm not going to ask you to make a roll of religion. But I think that Rasim can understand why she would, raise an eyebrow and smirk when he says, I will protect every dog.
I take this domain for one reason, and that is I don't want any Christian influence in Muslims. The Allah is the one God and the true God. Allah is the creator, and it is the one. The
Muhammad is his prophet.
Yes. Me saying that I respect the Christians is only means that I know that they will be judged for their sins in the judgment day.
You say that you protect the prophet's quarter.
Mhm.
But what about the slums? A lot of people from our faith reside in this place.
Well, the slums is having problems. There's a killer in the slum which needs to be found. I tried really hard, but I couldn't get Cosmo. We couldn't make a time, and again, I can't fight that much, so I didn't want to go alone anymore. If you want, we can try to find the problem in slums. But I would
She
say,
smirks.
Mhm.
She smirks as, she's tapping on her side, which isn't armed because obviously she always leaves her sword at the entrance.
Mhm.
But yeah, the message is pretty clear.
What's the message? Do you want me to roll perception? Perception.
If you want, it's pretty clear. But
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah, she's tapping where her scimitar is supposed to be.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much she's saying, "You have my sword."
Oh yeah. And maybe we can work with the Ulrich as he is the Baron of Jerusalem and get the Arab slums for Muslims as well. I am the Arab slums is again where a lot of Muslims live. My original idea was creating a unity of Islam in the Prophet's Quarter and in Edessa. I want Muslims to work together. I want Muslim Canaanites to work together. I don't want people to or kindred or the Canaanite to fight with each other, especially if they are believing the Allah. But we have, as you know, you and me. I hear about an Assamite who recently joined the city.
The same brothers, then. That might be interesting to have their opinion on that. But yes, or the problem within the Arab slums. Well, we have many possibilities. I mean, I am merely a woman. If I were to walk alone in the slums at night, I guess that if his killer would indeed be roaming, he would find me very attractive to plant his dagger in my stomach. So this can happen. Or, well, you, me, and my ghoul, or even my military forces, can be dispatched within the slums
We
to
can.
ensure that there are no incursions or murder of Muslims.
He nods, and maybe we also can invite Cosmo. He looks at her like, like before she says like no, no, no. He just raises his hands and says, "I know he's Christian, but he has a sacred vow to protect all of the people who is under the name of who he has to protect every human being."
She shrugs.
Mhm.
I have nothing against your brother.
Actually, let me. I think I know. I am not sure. Let me read the type of sum I have. the he has to defend or aid the person in need. And
Our faith is not, well, we don't share the same faith. But if I'm being honest, I prefer to have a conversation with an hospitalier from your clan rather than an hospitalier Ventru.
the Ventru doesn't respect the Muslims a lot. For Cosmo, you need to be human, or you need to be a good person. That's all you need. For Ventru, yes, you need to be a Christian. That's why he might be a nice person, maybe, but I am not going to respect a person who was not respecting my creator, or his creator, or creations of his. Like he says, his and our creator.
Yes, the old problem. The old problem of explaining to Christians that God is God and that we are of one and same faith. I will be honest, because as I said, and you said, one Muslim should not lie to another. The Turkish problem puts me in a very problematic position. I believe in the unity of Islam, and as you said, and as I agreed, as much as I loathe the method that we are using, the Turks are fighting for the Abbasid, and we know that in the end, it is for the unity of Islam.
Just because they conquered the Abbasid, that doesn't mean that doesn't make them the representative of the Islam.
True.
The Islam has been represented by the wrong people for a really long time. They killed the grandchild of Muhammad. They killed their family in Medina. Islam is in war. The unity that you talk about is not existing. I wish it was, but it doesn't exist. I'm really sorry for saying this, and I wish it had. We have people who are saying the killing an infidel, killing a Christian will send you to the heaven, which is no, you can't kill a person who is being given life by Allah. You can't kill anybody.
Hmm.
You can't. We have nobles who is not feeding the Muslim. We have nobles who say that they're Muslims and not feeding the poor. We have the Arabic people who looks down upon their wives and looks down upon females, while the heaven is created under the foods of the mothers. There's a lot of wrong in this world, and yes, there's a lot of wrong in this world. The unity, I wish there was a unity, Rashid.
Unity is very hard to obtain. But again, they are mortals. Their interpretations and understanding of the holy text is biased by their own wants, their own needs. But unfortunately, as you probably saw and probably understand, it didn't stop our Christian brethren from following the same road. Faith is probably more complicated than anything. One can only hold to its true faith, the faith of its core beliefs. And in the end, we shall all be judged by Allah for our actions.
What do you think about this thing that I proposed, the Muslims working together in Odessa?
I will fight for the unity of Islam. This holy place that you propose, this quarter of peace, I will fight and defend it. I guess that my personal problems regarding what the Turks are doing, I will have to dwell more into and see what I can do for it. But yes, I will help you. And I will be a quiet neighbor.
What is about to that you're going to do about the you see, like, he thinks, and like he says the moves that we have. I'm not talking about the disciplines, the things called disciplines. I'm talking about the connections, the sway over people. He smiles at her and says, "You just said that you have a military force, which is really good, but I would say that you have some."
She smiles.
Mhm.
You should know it by now, Hassim. You might be an imam, but personally, I am more of a God damn it! I'm trying to remember the name in English. Let me
No problem.
check.
No problem.
Oh yeah, but I'm a Sufist. faith is my shield. And she smiles because it's pretty obvious what she means.
Levi, yeah.
You know, following their conversation.
Oh, yeah, like she says it's her shield, like, you know, the influence is her shield. The Rasim is like, I would like you and me controlling that. We living in the Prophet's Quarter alone will help that a lot.
She nods.
But I don't want to fight over it.
Obviously.
It's for unity.
She smiles when he says it's for unity.
He actually means it. You can roll perception.
Yeah. No. I know, but it's that's her whole shtick. Unity.
That's not bullshit. That's like, you know, like
Yeah.
you're pulling our influence.
Obviously.
I have
Yes.
some sway. Oh, go on. I'm sorry, please.
Obviously. You're in Mom. I would find it very strange that you do not hold power within the religious sphere. I will.
I'm really sorry for interrupting you for a second. Please.
I won't step on your toes. And she nods, you know, as long as this goes the same way. As long as our interests are for the betterment of our people, I don't think that any problem would arise between you and me.
My interest is always for the good of the people, Nasheed. And as you can understand it, I have some sway over humans. Every kind of humans. The poor humans. And I need to tell this as the problem is we need more to protect us, more than religion and the little people, those poor people. We need more. And if we go over the same thing, it will be really hard. But if we divide ourselves, divide our attention to two different places, we will be able to do better, Nasheed.
I do not think that I will go very much into more power through the military. My clan is not that grand. My nomads are scattered within the wind of a desert. I will not sway them away from their ways. We go from place to place, for this is how we work. But I need to see. I think that perhaps some old friend of the clans owed me something. I should perhaps need to check a little bit more into the slums and those who control the slums.
The City Watch is a mess. Everybody would want City Watch. The military, you have military, but everybody would want military as well. I have some connections in nobles, which I don't think that's a battle that I will be able to win. The Christians and Jews, I would prefer them being Muslims, but it might be good to have friends in them. And small folk, the poor people, I already told you that I have a connection in them. Underworld. I don't he shakes his head. Like you understand that he doesn't deal with the underworld. Like he just shakes his head.
Hmm. Yes, but if you want to have control over the slums, they are inevitable.
I don't want to have control over slums. I want Muslims to protect Muslims and everybody who lives in those places. I don't want there will be a holy war. I don't in the future. I can't stop this. There will be a holy war again. There will be repercussions for what Christians
Yes.
did in Jerusalem and in this place. You see, like his eyes are like he will nearly cry. You know, like he is like sad.
Mm-hmm.
There will be
Yes. Repercussions.
repercussions in the future.
It's already in its wake. But if you want to protect those who live in the slums, then underworld is inevitable. I will, as I said, I will look into it. Because as they say, nomads, they are thieves in nature, going from one place to another. Surely they must steal from others.
The Do you know any merchant in the
Mother knows a merchant, but outside of it, no, I do not know any merchant.
Okay. There will be time in which I will try to use the. I will need to have the a guild. I will need to work with a guild which will work for everybody. Or I will need to be with the agriculture because that's how you feed the poor.
Or rather, this is how you win wars. Because if you can't feed anyone, then only death.
I wish I
awaits
was.
you.
I wish I was able to both feed both of the sides and convince them not to fight.
But yes, agriculture. That is something interesting to check. I will need to see more of my studies into that.
Me too. We will decide when the time has come. We will be able to do more in time. The commerce. I don't think everybody is in the commerce right now. As we know, we have a lot of Christians in the city. He smiles again. Let them fight over nobles and the Christians.
Mm-hmm. We will see.
Yes, we will.
Only the future will tell us if we did the good thing.
You know it. I am really sorry, but I need to return to the before the
Yes,
night namaz has begun.
of course. I still need to do my research. I will see you again. And, well, we shall see how everything turns out. And with that, as Mashid gets back to her heaven, deep into her secret chamber of secret stuff, where an undead woman opens the door and closes it. We shall call it a scene as those of the true faith are marching. Thank you, player, for playing, watchers for watching, and we'll catch you next time.